If you've seen my videos before, you know that I have been foiling with a cheap laminator for years. And I never thought it was necessary to buy a more expensive machine to do foiling with foil sheets. But Pink Main's new Mini Minc has me totally changing my mind. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, I am sharing the new Pink Main Mini Minc, which they sent me to try out, along with some of their amazing foiling products. I was super impressed with the results and how easy it was to achieve a full foiled background. So let me show you what comes in the box with the Pink Main Mini Minc. So when you open up the box of the Pink Main Mini Minc, you get an instruction manual that tells you the different temperatures that you use for different materials. You also get the machine itself, as well as a couple of foil sheets and a couple of pieces of toner printed little cards. So turn the Minc on first, and when you turn the switch, then you need to press the gold button, and that will start warming up the Mini Minc at the 0 level. If you want to increase it, keep pressing the button until the light lights up on the number that you want. Here I have one of those toner printed cards and a piece of gold foil that came in the box, and my number 3 is all green on the Mini Minc. I have also, that is included in the box, the carrier sheet. Now that's a plastic sheet. It's got a seam on one end. You insert the seam end into the Mini Minc, and then you let the Minc take that carrier sheet through the machine. It will apply pressure and it will apply heat, and it will come out the other end. So you can see there is a little switch at the left hand side that will let you take it out, but you don't want to do that. You want it to let it go all the way through. There's my carrier sheet, and that keeps it from getting wrinkled. Now check this out. There's not one dot of toner that hasn't been foiled. I don't think I've ever seen that in a laminator. So here's another of the cards that was included in the box, and a piece of silver foil that was included in the box. Again, put it inside that carrier sheet. You're going to put the seam end at the top. You're going to insert that seam end into the Mini Minc, and you're going to allow it to go through the entire machine. If it does get jammed, that's why you have that lever on the top left. Now, it won't get jammed as long as you use a carrier sheet, and so that is really important to do. Then I'll peel off that foil, and again, not one dot of toner is left without foil on it. At this point, I could not believe my eyes. I was totally wowed. I was super impressed, and I love the results. Now, let's try out some of their fun foiling products. These are the Simple Greetings Stickies adhesive transfers, and they can be used to apply foil as well. There are dies that can cut out those foiled greetings too. Here is the Shell-ebrate stamp set and dies. You can just use the stamps and dies as is, or you can combine them with the Shell-ebrate Stickies adhesive transfers, and I'll show you how to do that later in the video. Here are some foilable card front backgrounds, just a bunch of different options like dots and flowers, and there's even an A2 full sheet of toner. These are the foilables. Another set of different backgrounds and sentiments and things. Now these are all printed in toner, so you can apply toner foil sheets on top of them. Those are the Pink Main sheets, as well as the Thermoweb Deco foil sheets. So anything with toner can only be used with those foils, not the hot foils that you would use with a hot foil press like the Glimmer. When you're doing this background foiling, you're going to have the Mini Minc on a 3 because of the cardstock that you're using. You have the foil on top of the toner, and the color side is facing up. That goes inside the Mini Minc inside a carrier sheet. These foilables are printed toner sheets, but they're not black. They're colorful, but they are the same type of thing as the black toner. It is amazing what you can do with this. So I foiled that really cute little floral and leaf background with that green foil. So that's one background. Now I have this foil piece and you can see it perfectly took out the foil in the pattern. I'm going to lay it on top of one of those foilable toner sheets in pink, put it inside the carrier sheet, color side again, facing towards me, facing up, and run it through the Mini Minc. Now what you'll see is the reverse. So the foil that was left on that foil sheet has adhered to the foil toner sheet that was pink underneath, and you get that two-tone effect. So now, and check out that foil. So there's no waste. I used one piece of foil twice, once on the black toner and once on the full printed pink toner. Is that not amazing? I am so excited about this, to not just have the black background, but to have those colorful backgrounds to foil on as well. And I was super impressed with how well the Mini Minc foiled again and again and again. So I am just going to show you another one just like that. This time I'm foiling on a piece of light blue toner sheet, and I'm using the scrap from that first waves one that I foiled. And check this out. You can see that all that foil has transferred because the sheet is clear when I peel it back. There's nothing left behind. And check out these gorgeous two backgrounds that I get. I didn't want you to think that, wow, maybe I just got lucky a couple of times, so we're gonna do it one more time. And I foiled this black toner background in a plaid with some pink foil. Now I have that pink foil left over. I'm going to place it on an orange toner background and run it through the Mini Minc. And then when I peel it off, I get a two-tone plaid, the pink foil design on top of the orange toner background. Check that out. It is so amazing, and look at that sheet was completely clear. Okay, I lied one more time because we have to at least do one rainbow, right? So this is that mermaid scale look background that has the black toner. I covered it with this rainbow foil. That is gorgeous. And then I placed it on top of an A2 black toner sheet that is entirely covered by black. So this is sort of what I'm more typically used to seeing, the black in color, but check this out. Whether it's on the white or on the black background, the reverse, you get two backgrounds with one sheet of foil. Absolutely amazing and perfect every single time. Here's a bunch of different foils that Pink Main has. They have a ton of different colors and designs. Now for the adhesive transfers. You peel off the back protective layer and lay it down on some cardstock and gently just rub it. Then you can put it through your die cut machine just like you would a normal thin wafer die sandwich. Once that's done, the adhesive has transferred to the cardstock. So you peel off the top protective layer and you can see that adhesive there. Next, place a piece of foil on top and you can cut off that little excess so that you can use it for another project. Put it inside your carrier sheet and run it through the Minc. Now I only have it on a 1. I probably could have put it a little higher, but it worked perfectly. So you'll get either a hang of what are the best temperatures for you and the projects that you're working with and the different cardstock you're working with. Don't forget that you can foil multiple colors at a time by placing little squares over these different transfers. Anything that is on top of the adhesive will transfer, but don't worry about the excess foil being on top of each other. That won't do a thing. If it's not touching adhesive, it's not going to transfer, which is really nice because you don't get that overfoiling. So I'll just peel these off and you can see there I made a little mistake on that side. Sometimes if you go too fast when you're peeling off either the back protective layer or the front protective layer, you can mess up the adhesive. So go slowly every single time. So like this, very slowly, just to make sure you don't mess up any of the adhesive. So again, just place that right on the cardstock. This time I'm going to use the Mini Minc for the first application. Instead of running it through the die cut machine, I'm going to run it through the Mini Minc, then peel off the top protective layer just like I did before. I feel like when you use the heat from the Mini Minc and the little bit of pressure, it doesn't smush the adhesive as much as the die cut machine does. Then I put foil down on top and run it through again. So this way, when I peel off the foil, I have that perfect foiled sentiment on pink cardstock. And then you can use those coordinating dies to cut it out. And that is fabulous for making cards because then you have these sentiments die cut out and foiled. So this time I am putting 3 different sentiments on one piece of white cardstock. I'm going to carefully peel off that top protective layer after I had run it through the Minc to get the adhesive to stick. So very slowly so you don't tear any of the adhesive or smear it or smush it. That's why I go very slowly both when I peel off the back protective layer and when I peel off the top protective layer. Okay, this time I'm just going to use one piece of foil for all 3 sentiments. Place it inside the carrier sheet. Don't forget, foil color side facing up. And this time I'm using it on a 3, which I found with thicker cardstock really works the best. So then I carefully peel off the foil once it is cooled, let it cool a little bit so it's not too hot to touch. Now let's take all that foiling and make some cards. I hope you can see by now why I'm so impressed with this machine. Every single background is perfectly foiled. Every single sentiment is perfectly foiled. I have a bunch of images that are also perfectly foiled. To add a little extra to these foiled Shell-ebrate images from the adhesive transfers, I'm going to combine them with the stamp set and then ink up different colors of ink for each of the images with some Distress Oxide ink. And that is it just takes it up a notch because it's not just white with the foil, it's a color with the foil. And then you can die cut all of these out too. So I really love the combination of adhesive transfers and stamps and dies. And to have all these perfectly foiled images, sentiments, and backgrounds really makes card making so easy. I just created a bunch of foiling and now I'm going to add a little bit of stamping. So this is the Pretty Posy stamp set. I wanted a few accents just because I wanted a few embellishments on my cards. So let's start making some cards. I have this wave background that I cut down to 4 by 5 1/4 and I'll mat it on some blue cardstock and then pop up the sentiment that says hope to see you soon on some foam tape and also the little images of 3 of the shells. And again, those shells are foiled and stamped. Just so cute. I didn't add any embellishments to that one because I felt like it was enough with those 3 sentiments. This time I have the plaid pink foil background matted onto some pink cardstock. Pop up that big die cut foiled sentiment thinking of you. And I wanted to add a few embellishments here. So I stamped those hearts and die cut them out and then popped them up. And that's all you need because of all that foiling. For this foiled background, I decided I didn't want the white background to be too stark. So I am using the Pink Main ergonomic blending brush to add some Distress Oxide ink in Mode Lawn. Don't worry if at first it looks like your foil is a little dusty looking. You can just buff off that ink and the foil resists it. I added the hello there and popped that up and a couple of flowers from that Pretty Posy stamp set. Again, you don't need much more than that because of this wow foiling. For this one, I am using the Happy Birthday from Shell-ebrate. That's the foil adhesives. I have all this die cut white cardstock, so I decided to cut down that panel to 4 by 5 1/4 and then mat it right on top of that die cut white cardstock to save a little bit. And then just a few stars that I stamped from the Pretty Posy stamp set and popped up on some little foam squares. Again, you don't need much. It is so amazing, that rainbow foiling. For this background, I have the green foil on the pink toner sheet. I have a couple of flowers stamped from the Pretty Posy's stamp set and die cut, and then the hello there sentiment. Here we have another of the different types of waves and a seize the day sentiment, which is really cute. Again, with these 3 different shell images, I didn't feel like you needed too much more, but I did cut the panel down to 4 by 5.25 so I could mat it on some light blue cardstock. These came together so quickly. I was so impressed with the Pink Main Mini Minc and all these supplies. Like I mentioned, I am super impressed with Pink Main's Mini Minc, and I'll be using it for all of my toner-based foiling from here on out. If you want to check out the Pink Main Mini Minc or some of their other foiling products, all of the supplies will be listed down below in the YouTube description under this video. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon.